Right, Dave. Tell me why. This happened the other show with Andy Talbot. We ended up talking about stuff off air, waffling, and then let's stop. Let's just call it. It's because it's quite amusing. Tell me why you got kicked out of TA.
So they started doing the surveillance thing, and the int core operator sounded quite good as a little sideline to push that to clients. But then I never went. So after about a year, they're like, "Are you coming?" And it was a difference between £12 for a night at the TA, getting told what to do by some civvy, or going and working.
Yeah, that surprised me they booted you.
Well, it was. Can you bring your kit back in? Because we don't want you anymore. I was like, all right, thanks.
I went to when I got out, I think I went to do. In fact, it was on the advice of Nick. Funny enough, was it? Did you do it off the back of any advice from Nick, or maybe Nick gave me advice off the back of knowing you were doing it? I went to go to join a TA. My nearest units would. Why was I doing it? I think for some time, money,
and they had a £10 grand bounty as well.
Oh, that's right. There's a £10,000 bounty, and I went across. One unit was SIGs, one unit was Med Reg, right next to where I was living at the time. And I was like, oh God, I don't know if I can. I couldn't start wearing anything but the Reg cap badge. Well, I thought, grow up. I went and did it, but when I got there, like on paper, they had. This is at the start of the retention, when it all started coming to light how bad the manning was and how big the recruitment problems were. And on paper, they were fully manned, and because of that, they couldn't bring me up. They couldn't bring me Reg couldn't bring me into it because they were fully manned. But the sergeant major I was talking to, he's going, "It's shit." So why is that? He said because we ain't fully manned. It's about half. We were about half manned, right. But they're keeping people here on paper. Numbers, They just, like in your case, they weren't cheering up, but they were just keeping them on. So he's saying we need people, but on paper we're full, and they don't the COs and all that on that side of things with the man. They didn't want to say we're struggling. It was all it's a numbers game. Numbers game. Keep them on. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about you. So we've had some comms in the past.
Yeah,
well, over quite a few years now.
I brought my first set of radios off you.
Was that you? Yeah. Are they still working?
They've gone. Thanks so much. Actually, I think Tony's got them back. TC's got them back.
So I bought them from Tony, and you bought them back off me, and now Tony's got them. Brilliant. They were good radios. I like them. They were good radios. Well, for me starting off, innit? I never got you obviously a private investigation, surveillance, ninja, and that's Nick and BT. You certainly speak that way, which is high praise. I suggest coming from them.
Yeah. Even now, if you're going out with Nick, you still get a bit twitchy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still a little bit of like day one, week one.
Did you train with Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, awesome. I didn't realise. So there we go then. You have got your own private investigation surveillance company.
Yes. Yeah.
How did how's that been? How's that been setting it out?
Interesting. The intention was never there. I left the army as a prison officer. Then I left that, went out and did maritime security for a couple of years. My boy was due to be born, so I came back to the UK. When I did the courses for CP intentionally. Went off with the intention of doing CP. Started an RST job. And when you're on the course, you do a bit of surveillance and you just kind of get an insight into it. And it just grew from there. And that was more interesting than stagging on.
Surveillance is stagging on sometimes.
Yeah, but
I think it seems I've never done it right, and it seems glamorous to me. But I see the horror stories of you being in the back of those vans. Yeah,
but you're in the back of the van. You're left to yourself. There's nobody. You're not working for a boss who's got an attitude problem.
Yeah,
you're your own boss in the back of the van, doing your own thing. So the only trouble you have is the piss bottle.
Yeah. Who did you serve with when you were?
Grenadier Guards.
Ah, okay. When did you get out?
2009.
When did you set up all Seaman Surveillance?
2014.
Oh, okay.
I was a prison officer for 3 years.
Where were you a prison officer?
Coldingley, which is in not too far from Purbright, and Hyder, which is in Banstead Croydon area.
You're a London, aren't you? Or not?
No,
That's where you live in.
I'm from the Black Country originally.
Well,
Just obviously joining the army at 16.
yeah.
Stayed down south because all the roads lead to London.
Did you join the AFC?
Yeah.
Question for you. How did you? What's your opinion on? Just push that mic a little bit away from you. What's your opinion on? What do you think of joining at 16 compared to 18 in terms of the benefits of it? Joining younger and
Massive.
Yeah.
Especially for guys from not so privileged areas up north. You leave school, not too many options. If you're not great at school, you don't want to go into college or further education, and that 2-year difference can be life changing from 16 to 18. Getting in at 16, you've got the ability to start learning something and get a career, rather than putting it off 2 years and falling in with a wrong crowd or doing bits and pieces that you really shouldn't be doing. So I think it's quite a big thing.
Did you? So when you join at 16, it's like a year and a half, isn't it? In AFC.
Yeah. So at Harrogate, you do 12 months, which is all regiments combined. So you've got all cap badges, then you pass out, and then you go to Catterick, do your I think it was 8 weeks in Catterick, and then you go to a regiment.
Yeah, I remember when I did P Company. What was that? Yeah, P Company. We had the lads from AFC come on and join us, and they were different in that. And this is me thinking about when I was only fucking 18, and they were only 16. They're different in that. Their knowledge of the military seemed to be much broader because they'd had that year of all arms training. Like they could rattle off all of the units in the British Army.
But we didn't know 6 section battle drills. Honestly, first week we turned up at Catterick. DS right 6 section battle drills. So, 3 go, and we got hounded for a morning.
Why isn't that? How is that missed on you?
It was just because you're it's like your first 6 weeks of training when you're becoming a soldier, and it's not trading. You're trade training, so everyone's treated the same, and you're just doing basic skills and drills. And then the DS from Harrogate came to have a chat and see how you were. Oh no, we don't teach that there. So well, they know it now.
Yeah. I do think that Power Edge are lucky, and Marines are lucky in that we have in our own depots we have this Power Edge instruction all the way through.
Yeah, same as obviously guards at Headley's Barracks.
Oh, is it the same for Phase 1 as well?
If you don't go to Harrogate, yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, so you got Headley's Barracks, guards, paras, Gurkhas.
Right.
And then everyone else over the road, aren't they?
Yeah, right, yeah. So everyone, I think, should have the same instructors as a unit going through, because otherwise, an instructor who there you go. The AFC is maybe a good example of what you explained there. They've got less of an investment, less interest in making sure you are like tip-top soldier, because you're going to their unit. You may not be from some other units. I've always thought that. I always thought it was one of the things that sets a lot of units apart. Is that I never got the chance to go to depot as an instructor, but I know if I'd gone, there's a risk that I would have hated to have trained someone or a group of people, and maybe they're screw, and then they come to the depot and they're a bag of crap. Yeah. And it's like, you're screw. You mess up and you get battalion. Yeah. If you mess up, you're fucking screwing depot, and you go. And he's Corporal Kia. I go, oh, was it really? And then the next time whoever it is to see me, I'm going to white slagging. Yeah. When did you do P Company then?
No.
When did you do your 6 weeks with the Guards?
It would have been 2004. So I left school in July 2003, I guess. Started in September, a year later.
Did you do any ceremonial?
Yeah.
What heard it?
Yeah. It wasn't for me.
Is there anyone that loves it?
Yeah. It's hard, You look at blokes and drillers a pill should be taken twice a day. You're like, mate, come on.
There's a what?
Drillers a pill should be taken twice a day.
Yeah.
And there are guys that live for it, and they make a career out of just staying in London for as long as they can.
Really?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Ninjas. The only thing that puts me off is everything puts me off. Actually, no, London would be good. Just to be in London would be good on the last one.
It is on the first day of payday, and then the rest of it you just get.
Not when you get the ladies' numbers tucked in the tunic, though.
Yeah, but
Doesn't happen.
no, it does. It does. But yeah, it's a good experience, and doing the troop, and saying to the grandkids, I did the troop for the Queen.
Yeah.
It's going to be good for that. But doing it for any longevity, it wasn't for me.
No, yeah, I can imagine. What at what stage do you start thinking about getting out? What led you getting out, actually?
I think we did Afghan, so it would have been Herrick 6.
Yeah, okay. So 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
Got back off that.
You had a tough one on that one, didn't you? I think I'm trying to. You guys, yeah.
Yeah. I was part of the BRF, which was the first kind of brigade reconnaissance force that wasn't PF or patrols.
Okay.
So there was lots of people thrown together, and it was a bit of a test. So you did that, and you had to beat up the tour, and we were left alone. Then get back to the battalion, and you just had the guards bullshit. You had a lot of people that had their careers, and they were a bit envious of young blokes that had been out and had 7 months doing everything. So, and I think coming off that tour, you just start to see through a lot of the stuff and do this, but why? Why do I need to do that? We don't need to be doing that. And it changed the perspective a little bit. So from there, it was started looking at getting out.
There's a massive gap between of proper fighting, like, between the Falklands and coming up to like the 21st century. Massive gap. And like you say now, I think and it happens to any unit, any military really. If the majority of your forces go for a considerable amount of time without experiencing the nitty gritty, then you do lose sight of things, and all of a sudden your bullshit creeps in, and things become a bit just doing things for the sake of doing things.
Yes, and especially in the guards. I mean, with the day we got back from Afghan, is that right? Buff belts need to be cleaned and on show this afternoon. We're like, hold on a minute, we just got back. Just give us a break. But it was just that bullshit that hangs a little bit extra in the guards than it is everywhere else. You just start to kind of question things, and as soon as your head's not in it, then it's time to look for something else.
So, what was your immediate thoughts when you think we're getting it?
It's going to be a police officer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a tattoo on my arm that I got when I was 14 of a British bulldog with a Union flag on his back. So I went through the paper process. Yeah, that's fine. Send us some pictures of your tattoo. Sent it in 6 weeks later. You're not for us.
I got a friend who had exactly the same problem, exactly the same, with 3 pilot, and he took it to the papers. He went to the papers. His dad was also, he was quite senior. He was a senior rank of some, I don't know what, a senior rank in some constabulary somewhere, and he took it to the paper, and then it was the same thing, British bulldog, and he ended up he was applying to the Scottish police force. And he ended up getting a job. He's still in it, actually. How he's a cop, I don't know.
I didn't get it. Now I'm a bit older and maturer. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. At the time, I didn't get it. I was like, been in the army. I've served my country. What do you mean I can't join the police?
Yeah, but how can it? I don't understand why you couldn't join on that. I don't understand why you can't join the police force for having a flipping British bulldog on a Union Jack.
Because if somebody looked at it and thought it was racist, and I did a bit more research, and the BNP used it on a leaflet in 1970 something.
Yeah, it's still fucking ridiculous.
No, it is. I was 14.
Yeah.
No, I've had it covered now because it's a shit tattoo.
What have we got now?
Just like a half a sleeve.
Star of David or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it didn't make sense at the time, but
it does make sense now, mate. If it doesn't make sense now.
But it was the right decision, because had I joined the police, I might have been down a different path, and I wouldn't be where I am now.
So when you got rejected, you must have been gutted.
Yeah. It was one of those. You see blokes leave battalion all the time. You see blokes come back, and once I put the papers in, I was like, I can't come back now. I've said I'm doing it. I can't change my mind.
Yeah.
So it's sent off to prison service. They had me.
Do you have any mates in the prison service? Did you?
No, not at the time. No.
Not really.
Yeah. It just.
How did you come across that job then? Were you pointed that way by someone, or did you know of it from previous?
I don't know. I don't know. Is the honest answer. I think it's just something I came across when I was looking for jobs. I mean, when I knew I was getting out, I went for interviews at sales companies and telephone companies and all types of things. So I was just like, I can't get out and not have a job. I've got to do something. And that came through.
So your first job then, unless you had anything in between, was the prison
officer?
Yeah,
I left. Actually, I left about a month early. I was due to get out in the February, and they gave me early release so I could start the training the first week of January. I think that was 8 weeks training, and then straight into it.
Where was it? Where was the training?
They do it actually within the prison. There's a little building outside, and you do 8 weeks.
What did that entail? What was that like compared to guard training? Or AFC?
Again, it was all very political. The day one you sat down and you're like, right, we encourage you to report on people. So if John and Jill are having a conversation, and
as in inmates?
No, officers.
Oh God.
If John and Jill are having a conversation and Sandra doesn't like that Jill says cunt, then put a report in, and you don't have to accept that. I was like, what? I was like, I'm not talking to anybody.
That is mental.
It was.
Is that the same from prison to prison?
Yeah, it's
a standard thing across.
Yeah, when I first kind of finished training and got on the wings, it was a very different mentality from the older senior prison officers. But gradually they were getting pushed out, and it was becoming more that they wanted university educated people to come in and call prisoners Mr. and just speak to them in a way that they don't understand, let alone me understanding.
That the prisoners don't understand.
No. If you got a guy that has been a shitbag for his entire life and grew up on a council estate, if you start saying, Mr. Smith, please don't do that, you're just going to get laughed at. You talk to them on a level and they understand it, and you get that respect that way. But that's not how the powers that be wanted it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder how little understanding they've got of the way that part of society is.
I think it's it's this educated mentality that to have a career you have to have a degree, and we know better rather than having life experience. And that was what I was seeing. That
so in getting those in getting people to speak to the prisoners in a as speak to them as if that you as a guard are a separate class to them, which is not the case in majority of things. They think that would help the rehabilitation of the prisoners. Is that the mentality?
I don't know. I think it's just this political correctness that is in society at the moment, that everyone has to be treated the same, but you can't talk to a guy that like that, because you don't get his respect, and in order to kind of run a wing you need the respect of the prisoners. You talk to them on a level, you talk to them like people, but if you are throwing some fucks in there, then it's not an issue, but to the powers that be it is.
I suppose I didn't know that. Surprisingly, that is. It's how you go about getting what you want from people, or getting what you want from life. It's like the perfect example. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's a director in quite a decent large company, and we were having this very same conversation. I think I put something in sworn. I accidentally sworn on my Facebook, public, and I don't like doing that. I just don't. It was meant to go to a private group. I've just literally the fact I swore in this sentence, something like this fucking thing is whatever. The irony is I'm doing it on the bloody podcast. On Facebook, and I spoke to him and I said, "Oh God, kick myself! I did that public post and I have been blinded and I didn't mean to do it there." And we got the conversation. He said, "No, it's how we speak. It's how we speak." He said, "Don't be wrong. If I'm going to go in with the board of directors and sit down and have a conversation, then I don't effing blind. That's just because that's ingrained in me.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said, but then I'm going out to do a video update for the whole company they're on. And I was swearing. I just can't help it.
Yeah.
I said, I can't. He said, I can't help it. But then I think with our generation, as in yours, my generation, zennials, so above millennials but below the old crusties. I think that we are going to be when we get to that age where the granddad back in my day, we'll be much more. Or people of our age when we get to senior roles in those kind of companies, will be much more accepting and accommodating, or not accepting and accommodating. We won't even notice. We'll much less notice someone swearing or someone doing whatever. I mean, look at Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was smoking pot, which is legal there in California. Canada's legalized now, isn't it? Yeah. And he was drinking whiskey, and some people were not impressed by that. With him being a CEO. No, I'm indifferent. It's like it does not bother me. No. It does not bother me. But that's the generation we are. I think it's going to be interesting as time moves forward. Yeah. And I think everyone will just be effing and blind. It'll be cut.
And
certain words you're never able to say about.
Yeah, of course.
You dropped one on you already.
But no, and going back to prison service, I didn't have the right attitude to be a prison officer, and that's why I eventually left.
Because you couldn't conform to what they wanted.
No, way. And the that military background that was instilled, you still have that, and that didn't work in the prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? I thought it'd been perfect.
No, because I didn't mind having a tear up, and you start getting yourself in drama because it's always the same names that are kind of getting involved in incidents. And for me from the military, it's like, right, I'll ask you to do it, I'll tell you to do it, I'll make you do it. Yeah. That's how simple it was. Yeah. If I said no means no. If right or wrong, we'll discuss it afterwards, but no's no, and we'll get on with it. But they want a softly approach, and so if your name keeps coming up because you've been involved in an incident and you responded to another incident, it's like, it's your fault. Whereas it's not necessarily the people that don't want to jump in and get involved. So it was time to leave.
How long did you do with them? 3 days.
I managed a few years.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then it's funny. I was living in Aldershot at the time, and one of the guys that lived in a flat above was an ex-SART major. He was working for a maritime company, and for about a year he'd been saying, get your calls, I'll get you a job. And I started to see the right. I was like, right, I need to find something else. Yeah. Saved up when I got the quals, finished all the maritime courses, rang him up. I was like, right, I got the quals. When do I start? Oh mate, I've just had a fallout with management. I don't work for them anymore. God. So but I put your CV in though. I was like, no. So it's like, but luckily I felt quite lucky and got out over Christmas, as most people do.
You got.
So a lot of people want Christmas off, so they're always looking for blokes.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a good time to kind of get amongst it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who you end up working for?
CRG.
On the boats.
Yeah.
Bloody boats. What were they like?
Yeah, no, it was good. They treated it different to a lot of the other companies.
In what regard?
They had a mixture of bootnecks and other regiments. It wasn't strictly bootnecks like a lot of companies did.
This is quite early on the maritime boom, really, wasn't it? 11, 12?
I joined 2012, yeah.
Okay,
end of 2012.
Yeah, sorry,
but no, they're a really good company to work for. They're quite chilled out.
Did they not go to... Sorry to interrupt. Did they not go to having lots... Like all the other companies having a lot of non-British...
Well,
European.
I think their plan from the start, they saw how the industry would go. So they started the teams of 4, 2 and 2. So 2 expats, 2 Indians. Which meant that the expats, their wages stayed higher for longer than a lot of the other companies, because they knew where the industry would go.
So they were one of the first to do that.
I think so. Yeah.
Switched on cookies.
Yeah, but they don't run anymore. I think it wasn't making enough money for them. So they just said, right, that's the end of our contracts when they run out.
Yeah.
We won't renew them.
No.
My ex was pregnant, so I needed to get back to the UK, and so my boy was born. And that's when I started doing RST.
Right. How did you get from the maritime to the RST?
Again, I've been quite fortunate. Yeah, and kind of, I seem to be in the right place at the right time a couple of times. It's worked quite well. My boy was born in the May. I came back off ship probably 4 weeks before he was born. All right, have him born, have 4 weeks off, and start looking. If it doesn't work, I'll go back and do maritime. I was back for 2 weeks, and I got a phone call saying, "Oh, we got a job. Do you want it?" I can't say no, now, can I? So 2 weeks before he was born, I managed to jump on an RST job. And I was quite fortunate, and then just started on that.
How did you find the RST?
Mind-numbingly boring.
It's staggering on. That's not to do it injustice. It's like it's people who are turning their nose up and won't flipping do RST.
Yeah, it pays the bills.
Yeah, I know, but then the dream job is to go and do some CP for some family. And you got to be in the right place at the right time to get that, or you got to put the graft in and exactly what Nick says. Don't be a job star.
No, absolutely.
I love that phrase. Years to come, people think it's mine.
Yeah, no, you're right, and just it was the first thing that came along, but it was when's the next opportunity going to be? So I took it. And it ran for a while, which was good.
How long did you do RST for?
I did it for 2 years for 2 different families, but I was doing surveillance throughout that time. So
when did you train with Nick then in Argus Europe?
2014. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The beginning. Yeah. Beginning of 2014.
When did you come off the boats?
July 2014.
How did you? Okay, so right, let's go back a bit. So you say May 2014 you trained with Nick?
No, it would have been earlier, about January, February time.
How can we? So when you were on the boats, then why did you decide to go and do that?
Just because my boy was being born. So I came back on the leave. I did the.
Do you want one of these?
I want these.
Yeah.
No, you got me.
Need a bottle. Oh, I got a bottle. Right, so July. Yeah. Cheers for these today.
Nice.
I like your candy.
Everyone brought something local, so I thought.
No, it's good. It's good. Cheers. Right, go on.
Yeah,
so you decided to go on,
between rotations, I did the course.
Yeah.
Just so I knew I was looking to get out of the maritime.
The PI surveillance and CP all.
Yeah. And then once I came back off the last rotation, I just started looking for jobs, and got fortunate with RST.
But you say you did surveillance as well at the same time.
Yeah, once I got settled into RST and realised that it wasn't for me long term, I started to get a bit of kit together and just approach companies and say, I'm available. At the time, I was doing 4 days on, 4 nights, 4 off. So on my down days, I'd just go and do a bit of surveillance, just start to kind of build up the knowledge and the practice that you need, and just kind of progress from there.
Was that just for different companies?
Yeah.
Did you have your own van?
Yeah, actually one of the first things I brought was a van. I think I paid 900 quid for a white Astra.
Bargain.
Yeah.
Was it already kitted out?
No.
Go on.
Just fortunately, my dad builds trailers for a living, so he knows electronics. So I was like, right, I need this, and this. He's like, yeah, I can do that. So stuck a battery in it, and it was all right. No, got it all kitted out, and again, it wasn't something that came. It wasn't all I wanted. It was just each job. The RST was paying for the bills. The surveillance was kind of building up the kit, which was nice. So it's when you first start, it is quite an investment. You've got your van, your cameras, your comms. So I just started to build it up, and just work for different people as and when I could. I found out I was alright at it. And it just kind of progressed from there.
I think that's the biggest barrier. I dabbled with the idea at times of going into it, but I don't know. I didn't. Well, one of the barriers to doing it was having the money to invest in a van. I recognised early on, as you did, that most of the jobs that would be posted up is like, they need an operator or operator with this, need this kit, and I'd almost always say that van, or it would be just not even have to state it. It's like the obvious. Yeah, it's obvious. I don't think I've ever seen anything where it's not. Apart from like the rural task, I did do some surveillance. I did some rural stuff, but it was nothing. Excuse me, not serious. It was in terms of skill set, surveillance wise, it was very a very low requirement. We didn't have to take record any video. Didn't have to record any audio. We were basically at OPs, and we would log and record it. Okay. Yeah, we just given a target, go. And it was almost all rural, which was like probably the best thing I've done since I left, because it was I broke up my green kit, got the green kit on, got my boot, because you keep kitting, I have my camouflage on, my boots on, I even had the old DZ flash, like it's all my old kit, and then we sneaking about at night, going and sneaking out, not have to do anything of any hard work. But having said that, it was winter, it was fucking freezing, it was snowing, oh my god. Yeah, no, that's it. It's the van. It's getting the van sorted. Yeah. But then, I think even with a little bit of research online, you can kit it out yourself with a little bit of nose. Yeah, really.
Yeah. And again, the likes of kind of Nick and the course, you kind of put you in a good stead where you've got not to kind of bad talk any other courses, but I don't think you get the aftercare that you do with with Nick.
Yeah, it's I'm always weary of saying people ask, we should have been training with these things, and I'm always weary that, well, I'm going to say RX0, because they were mega nice there, but and I will say they were mega, but I'm going to train with everyone else.
No, exactly.
So it's like, well, and I sort of realised that, everyone's going to say their trainers, they provide the best. No one's going to say, no close protection guy is going to say, mine was shit, because the insinuation is that you had shit training. Maybe shit. I was going to say the best, but there is that with the aftercare with it, but the work and stuff after. I can't fault for that. I don't know of anyone else that does that. I don't know of anyone else that does that. And that's the kind. I think I would know. I would become aware of it by now, which is good. Did you not do, when you were building your van? Did you not do a series of photos and explanations of what you were doing? Was that you?
No, that's Merv.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that post. Yeah, but no, and gradually the kit was built up, and I'm a bit of a kit geek anyway, so any excuse to spend the money was was like, I need that. I don't know what for, but I might need it one day. And the eBay bill went through the roof.
We had a guy when I was doing my surveillance course. We had a guy he turned up just for the surveillance. I won't say. He turned up just for the surveillance course. He was civvy. He had a military background. I think he got referred there by an ex-Power officer that was employing him in some way, shape, or form. And he rocked up, and he had a tie with a camera in it. That's Nick about it. He had a tie with a camera in it, right? He had a pair of sunglasses, so like Fakelys, in the middle, with a hidden camera right in the middle between the eyes. And the problem is, you have to film, you have to look at people. I mean, particularly, it's there right now. What else do you have? You had basically everything that you get from like the spy shop. The pens with like miniature, like it was.
I bet Nick loved that.
Oh, I loved it. He also had a problem with public transport. Didn't like going on public transport, which is great on a footballer, and the target like fucking gets onto a bus, for example. Like you knock it and the bus not follow him. Oh, he was mad. He was mad. Yeah, he was absolutely mad.
I'm guessing he's not working anymore.
I don't know. I got no idea. I got no idea. I got no idea. I don't know where he went to. I'll have to ask Nick about that. If he's ever listening again.
Yeah, we just put a guy through the course, and he's coming on full time employed now. So he's the first of
With you?
yeah.
Ah.
So he got given the van and all his kit yesterday, so he's happy.
What you dished out kit? Flipping heck.
So he's done the course. He's coming on full time employed, and he's got a van with a full setup with everything.
So your company.
Yep.
That surprised me. Can you explain it to me? I'm not going to speculate. So you would all see surveillance.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And if you bring some, and in this case, you brought someone on as an employee, and you're giving him the kit to do his task. Why have you chosen to do that? Give him the kit out of interest.
First of all, I don't think you'd be able to afford it.
Okay.
And you almost control the quality a little bit.
Okay.
And the end product. You know, if you're giving him decent cameras, decent comms, then he's got a good starting, good place to start and go from. So
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's probably get that better than most most subcontractors.
When did he finish the course?
2 weeks ago.
Good report, I take it.
Yeah, but he was lined up to go on the course with the intention of becoming employed anyway.
Ah, right.
But yeah, he got signed off.
Yes, I didn't. That's brilliant.
It's just that trying to kind of grow the business in the right way, by offering a good product, but also kind of look after the blokes. So it will be interesting and seeing how it kind of pans out. All of a sudden, there's a lot more admin for me. So, things I wouldn't think about. I'm like
insurance claims.
Well, insurance. Company car policies. I'm like, we've had him out this week doing a bit of training, and we were doing a few bits and driving, as you do doing this job. And it's like, right, we do that, but you don't ever do that, okay? He's like, all right, okay. Yeah.
How big is the company now?
Well, there's me and my business partner, and Simon's the first employee of many.
Right.
Hopefully.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm saying that's awesome. They're giving me the kit. It's just really taking me back. So in your normal working day, that's about every working day different here. You working week.
Mm-hmm.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me from the point of view, from as if I'm saying to you, Dave, I fancy going out and doing a bit of surveillance. What's your week like doing what you're doing? I know it's mental.
First of all, ask your missus if she likes never seeing you. If she's alright with that, then we're good. It's although it's a cliche, no 2 days are the same. It really is that. I mean, in the last the last month, I've been 2 foreign countries doing a week's task in two different places. I've been to Wales.
That's not foreign, buddy.
No, that's not. I won't say the countries I was in. But so you get about a bit, and your jobs can be starting early doors at 3-4 in the morning and going right through to starting in the afternoon and just doing the evening.
How much time you spend? How much time, like proportionally, so percentage-wise, is planning or post op admin, as in editing? Or
planning is usually on the hop because nothing's ever pre-planned. It's usually all right. I need this and I need it tonight or tomorrow or the next day. So that's usually kind of you get it in and you just get on with it. You're doing it as you're on your way there. Post stuff, depending on how much you've kind of got throughout a day, you can have anything from a couple of minutes of video footage to a couple of hours. You're going through all that. You're writing your reports, and again, depending on who's on the ground, depends on the handwriting and the spelling of the report, and you're having to 2 in the morning try and work out a puzzle, put that together. But no, you try as much as we can. You get off the ground, get a report, and get it to a client, so they wake up and they've got it there ready and waiting, and it sets quite a good impression. And 9 times out of 10, it will lead to more things because they see something, they get a bit of an urge or an itch, and it kind of carries it on.
A little bit of information.
Mm.
Yeah, didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is repeat customer a big thing then? A big part of your...
It can be. With the corporate stuff, definitely. With the matrimonial, we find it's a word of mouth. So, so someone does all right out of the divorce and sitting around the table, and it gets passed on, and we get the call, and you did this for my friend. Can you do it for me?
Mm-hmm.
Which works quite well.
With the corporate clients, what is there anything since you got into the industry that has surprised you in the nature of the tasks that you do for corporate clients? Because I'm thinking like corporate clients would be, maybe they're suspecting theft on site, or maybe someone's flipping, what else? Fraud, or falsifying an insurance claim, for example. What's your most unusual one? Obviously, without giving details.
I think gardening leave ones are the kind of the strangest ones, because you've got an individual and they leave a company and they're given a handsome settlement, but they're greedy, and they can't wait that period of time before they start working for the next guy or whoever it may be, or doing their own thing, and they get greedy. They want that money. They want to start making more money, and they get caught out very easily. That's always the one that surprised me, because they're quite intelligent people. But I think there's an arrogance with it that it's alright, I won't get caught, and they crack on and they do.
Yeah, you think you know better, especially with. I'd imagine that involves senior execs and stuff like that, where you're talking about that level of where a corporation or a company's willing to spend money on surveillance for an individual. There must be senior.
Yeah, millions. Yeah. And the figures can be crazy.
Having said that, I suppose it would even be worthwhile doing it for a company if just for salespeople leaving.
Well, taking client lists, and that's one of the main areas that we kind of focus on is small to medium companies, because surveillance and private investigations it's a bit unknown. Some people look at it as a bit seedy. You imagine Dick Tracy with his flashing jacket on. So approaching companies and saying, this is what we can do. This is how much it costs, and potentially this is what you can save. It opens their eyes, and it's not that that you're going to get a job then and there, but in the future they're going to think of you when something happens.
Yeah, but they've legislated better recently, though, over the last 5-6 years, haven't they? Which helps improve the reputation of the industry, or not?
It hasn't been licensed yet. That's been being spoken about since the phone hacking scandal. But yeah, it's not. I
thought there was. Hang on, what came in to do with PIs? Oh, didn't some legislation come in a few years back to do with private investigation? Am I talking rubbish?
It's been spoken about, but it hasn't been
finalised yet. SIA business licensing. You're on about, aren't you?
Yeah.
Was it not something else?
You had the implementation of GDPR this year.
Yeah.
Obviously that has quite a big impact on the industry, but other than that,
no, that SIA, the SIA business license is a bit of a flipping joke. I don't. It just that's been going on since 2013. No, 2014. I think the SIA business license was first. I think it came about in 2014, and they were planning implementing it in November 2014. I think.
Right. Okay.
And it's still not done now.
No.
But you can.
You don't need a license to be a private investigator.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know.
Which is a bit scary. But yeah.
What you need?
Nothing.
I thought you did. I thought you did.
Ideally, you do, and
ideally.
yeah, but there are some cowboys out there that are kind of running around. I mean, Adam Johnson, the footballer, got done for rape.
Yes.
Is that Adam Johnson's?
Yeah.
his family paid a private investigator thousands, or hundreds of thousands, and he was a fraudster.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you had to be licensed, mate.
No.
That was ridiculous.
There are things that you should have in place, like your ISO registration and bits and pieces, but you don't have to be licensed as it stands at the moment. But it looks good when you go to clients and say, right, this is what we do to ensure compliance, and that we.
How do you do much continuation training? Like do you plan on doing much continuation training with the company, with the likes of Simon? You said to come in.
Yeah. So photography is a massive one. Anyone can hold a video camera and click record and point it in a direction. So photography is something that will come on once he kind of settles in.
And you're going to do external courses and that kind of stuff, or internal? You'll teach him internally first, or
I think we'll start teaching internally first. And I think there's a few things in the pipeline for courses, but yeah, there are courses out there that we'll get him on. Driving would be another one, Rosper.
Yeah. What's the most difficult skill do you think with being a surveillance operator? That the most difficult skill to master? There's loads, isn't it? You got photography, you got the videography, or if you want photography as well. Then you've got the editing. As you're kind of your butt on the ground. Ideally, you're not doing the video editing. That's the kind of the case manager's job. Okay.
I think the biggest thing is you need free hands. You're driving, you're talking on the radio, and you're trying to record at the same time, whilst not getting into accident, whilst maintaining control of the subject, and trying to preempt what they're going to do. If they're going to stop, where you're going to pull up, and right, I can turn on this road, I can stop here. This will give me a good advantage. So it's just it is a thinking game, and that's one of the things I like about it. That if you're not good at it, there's nowhere to hide. You can go on a CP team, and if you're a bit shit, you can kind of hide in the background and get away with it for a bit. But with surveillance, you very quickly get found out if you're not good at it.
Yeah. Unless, well, no, yeah. I suppose, and if that's the case, I hazard a guess some of those people that go on and try and start companies like lunatics, because then all they look at the height is themselves, and then they don't get any business, they crash it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the private investigation qualification, then, does that have to be? Does it stand for life? You have to renew it or what?
No, it stands for life. Again, there's no real body that monitors private investigators. The ABI, Association of British Investigators, is a good starting point, and they're trying to push a lot of policy and compliance for the industry, which is a bad thing. Excuse me.
I don't know what's going on. It must be the studio. Yeah. Last week we had Richard Sharp on Team Rubicon, and he had cracked up a beer and 2 beers, and he couldn't stop. He brought those in the show. Fault. He brought those in as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, not really. He brought his own beer. Right. So you talking about the ABI? How did the ABI get formed?
Get formed?
Yeah. Has that just been around forever?
Yeah, it's longer than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it? So are they pushing to get the industry regulated?
Yes. Yeah.
Who do they expect to regulate? The SIA?
I believe so. But again, they're doing lots of stuff in the background, which I should probably read up more on. But yeah, they're dealing with it. They'll sort it, and they'll publish what they need to publish, and we'll go along with it. But no, as a starting point, they provide vetting to PIs.
What do you mean?
So to be a member, you go through a vetting process with them. You have your interview. So anyone using a private investigator, you can't go far wrong by using an ABI member. At least there's something in place, and if there is an issue or something goes wrong, you can go to the ABI and they'll investigate independently.
Yeah.
So it gives clients a bit of confidence.
Yeah. So it's getting people aware of that the ABI exists to the potential clients, isn't it?
Hmm.
I suppose. Did I go on?
No.
Did I they must go to corporations and potential clients and push themselves and have their own brand marketing. Do that, make themselves aware, to make themselves that to make people aware that there is a not a regulatory body, but an association. Well, like another association, professional association, that are doing it properly. Do it properly, yeah. Where are they based?
Brentwood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. That's not. Couldn't spell actually. If you were going to, would you recommend surveillance as a career path?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you talking about guys leaving a mill, or just in general?
Well, in general, in general, I suppose either or. The reason I ask is, it's one of the things that I've just with the whole security surveillance industry. That I'm going to band those two together, separate but together, because it's you sort of train in both, and why didn't I? A lot of people do, and they're two options for people like you and I. Is that it seems to me that to be just not irregular work, and I'm talking not from a point of view of yourself like an owner, but as an employee or independent contractor. It just seems sort of irregular, constantly trying to find the next job, next contract, next pay packet, which for me, I was in that boat for years, and I didn't realise until later on. It's like, fucking hell, that was just not good for me at all. So that's why I ask. It's and that's what it seems to me still. There seems to be a lot of people who look for work, either in CP, RST, surveillance, those three things, because generally they'll train those three things. Well, a lot of companies will, and they just. It's hard. It's a hard thing to succeed in. Is that right? I don't know. I'm not in the
for surveillance. When you starting off, yes. Nobody knows you, and for you to go out and work for somebody, you need to convince them that you can do a job. You can provide a good product, which is your video or your report. So when you first start, nobody knowing you. It comes back to not being a job snob. Anything, everything, you take it. Whether you're making £10 or £100 on it, you take it just to get that experience, get your name out there. But once you're established and you network and you've got enough people that know that you can do a job and provide a good product, then the phone rings. And that's why for a couple of years I was kind of doing both of RST and surveillance until it got to the point where I knew that I could sustain myself just purely through the surveillance work.
It's just dawned on me talking there. It's just literally just dawned on me there how much more important it is, how much more likely you are to get a call back in the surveillance industry than by being good at what you do than say RST or CP or security guard and whatever, because the impact for the person whose job it is of having a poor operator, the impact is so much more. It's a showstopper. You perform badly for the wrong client, and that means one of your operators is come on and you think, I'll give him a go, I'll give her a go, and they end up on the target at the time when you need to take that. They should have been flipping video on this from this angle or have this setup or that setup, and they don't do it because they're inexperienced or they're a fucking idiot. Or just it's the wrong industry for them. That can destroy.
It's hideous, and that conversation with a client afterwards is not fun. No. A story from the early days would be I had two guys out on a job following a guy that he's wife believed was up to no good. They get him out of a building, start following him. They get caught. Yeah, we've got him
On foot.
Yeah, on foot, just around London. Get caught. Yeah, we've got him. It's all right. Okay, get him to an address. The client asks for an update. Okay, yeah, we've got him to this address. And the client's like, I don't know that address. Are you sure it's him? Check the team, guys. Are you sure it's him? Yeah, 100%. It's definitely him. Definitely him. This guy stays out all night, away from the house. Next morning, get the video through. It's not him.
Oh God.
So then the client has spent the night thinking that her fella's off with another woman and pulling her hair out, and then I have to give her the good news in the morning that, sorry, I told you that we were fantastic, and this is what you'd be getting, but this happened, and I'm really sorry. Obviously there's no charge there, but yeah, I'm really sorry. And then I have to go back to the guys and say, you told me 100% that was him. Yeah, we're sorry.
You're going to get called back.
they didn't get a call back, but the client called back saying, I'm going to sue you.
No,
oh, please don't.
You're joking.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because she'd spent all night crying.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was sorted out. But yeah, that's one horror story out of thousands of good stories. But usually the horror story is more interesting.
You learn. You flipping.
But yeah.
You learn to better vet the people you're going to employ.
Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of flip it on the other side, there's nothing better than having a good result for a client, whether you're saving them money or you're getting them a result that they didn't expect, and having a happy client, which is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often you've had a job where you start on UK soil and unexpectedly you finish the task unexpectedly, like on the pan of some airport somewhere else by accident? Not by accident, but because you've been on the target.
I've never followed anybody out of the country on a job, but there's been a few times where they've gone to the airport and got a plane, and you ring the client and like, no, just leave it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you try and get people the other side anyway that have local knowledge. But yeah, we get a lot of people flying in on business for a week or so, and that's usually quite interesting.
What do you mean?
So they're flying in on business for work, or they've said they're coming in on business and they need to rock up with somebody else, and that's always quite an interesting conversation with the client. Saying, yeah, he's here. He's got his briefcase, but he's also with somebody else.
The murky worlds out there. The things that go on that people don't know about. Jesus. What did you find the most difficult thing, the difficult skill to take up with the surveillance? Because for me, like the photography side of things, I'm on about stills.
Photography is a dark art.
Right. People don't realise. I did a couple of years. I go like amateur. Couple of years, but when I get into something, I go balls deep. And I go well into it, and then next thing, the camera's on my shoulder everywhere I go. And but nothing like where you're probably at. And I started realising that it's like, okay, you can, there's a lot of facts and and a lot of reading you can do to know the theory behind it. But holy shit, to put it into, especially for time, shots that rely on something else, a target, for example, or you want to get the right shot with a wildlife or sport, or whatever, and you've got to adjust the stuff on the fly because setting it to automatic, setting that £1,000 DSLR flipping Canon 7D or whatever it is to automatic isn't going to cut the mustard.
No.
It doesn't. And you bought the camera.
People try. They try. You're like, I've got some really good photos, and just blur going across the screen. You're like, fantastic.
What about DSLR killers that are out and about at the minute? So you got your dog standard DSLRs. Mm-hmm. What about the little compact ones, the bridge cameras? What do you reckon of them compared to they cannot surely be replaced?
No.
So why not? Why can they not do the other thing?
They're a good starter. It's a good place to start learning, but as soon as you start getting into into the photography and understanding the triangle of exposure and
time and don't tell me exposure, time. Don't tell me exposure, time, and it's the sensitivity of this is what is it? The ISO. Exposure time.
As soon as you start understanding that, bridge cameras, that's the I guess the broadness is reduced, whereas the DSLR you've got a lot more ability to adjust the settings to suit the scenario.
Pardon me.
But no, it's a great place to start, but it's not the same as.
Do you have a bridge in your arsenal?
I did when I started.
Did you?
Not anymore. Yeah.
I saw when Nick's good friend, Nick's very good friend. I saw him. Where is he? He went through a fad. He's loving Facebook. Oh, he was. He went through a fad of posting up. He bought one of his bridge cameras. He's posting stuff up to the Facebook group.
Yeah.
The Argus group. With these photos he taken with his bridge camera. They were fucking awesome. They were awesome. I'm not sure I don't know if he carried on with using it or not. You have one in the arsenal or not?
I used to. Now I don't. I've got a little compact thing that you can throw in your pocket for certain scenarios. But the bridge camera with the right bit of glass on the end is always the preferred option.
What about how important is it to from a surveillance perspective when you're not selling the photography, for example, for like the high resolution, flipping prize winning photos? Could you cut the mustard with the Tamron?
I've got lenses that are 20 years old, and they're fantastic.
Okay.
The lenses that don't really change with cameras now is the autofocus, which is quicker and stuff within the actual body of the camera. So I use a Sony, which has got an A mount, which allows you to put lenses on that are 20 years old, and you still get a fantastic picture. It's just the colours are different, but it looks pretty.
I didn't realise. I thought, why do I think that? So when you get like your budget lenses, like the Tamron, the same Tamron, like a 300 mm. Was it 75 to 300 mm Tamron thing when I was doing it? What's reducing the quality on that compared to
probably the camera?
What? No, well, why'd you? All right, so let's go. You get a Tamron 75 to 300 mm lens for 80 quid. And you can get the same lens made by Canon or I don't know, Leica or something for thousands. What's the difference?
With the lens?
Must be quality difference. Glass?
It's probably going to be autofocus.
Really?
Yeah, and the technology within the lens will be different.
Yeah.
But a photographer could use two different cameras and take a very similar picture with the two lenses. I imagine.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to remember that theory I was talking about. No. I want to get back into photography. I really enjoy it. But it's time consuming. But it's time consuming.
It's good having two young kids and watching them run around and just using them for practice.
You must do loads of it anyway. And plus, and also I suppose with the standard video equipment these days, the quality of the stills must be awesome.
From a video camera.
A still from a video camera, the resolution must still be really good.
Yeah,
well, must be really good.
Yeah, but there's still no comparison to a still from a DSLR.
What kind of? How are you recording the video? What are you using? Well, as an open question, give an example of something that you're using to record the video, because different things, different tasks.
Yeah. Just normal day to day Sony handhelds, the kind of the 4K cameras.
What handheld like that?
Yeah.
Like the old handheld. But
within the van they'll be mounted and cammed up and on a remote.
Yeah.
And then onto a screen. Yeah.
Is it? I didn't realise they were still in use. Nick's gonna be kicking me. I thought it'd be. Why do you? Would it not be better to? Obviously, it's not because of what you're doing. But to have like a purpose-made, not purpose-made, a recording device in the car, a DVR with a camera on a.
You can do, but then you're limited. So if you've got a camera that's a bullet camera that's size of a 2 pence piece, then the quality of chip and sensors in there is limited compared to a handycam.
Right, okay. Got you. So you would obviously recommend surveillance as a career? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a lifestyle more than a career. You've got to enjoy it. Well, you're up at stupid clock. You're sat in the back of the van for 12 hours a day, pissing on your leg. It's not the most glamorous job, but if you enjoy it and you spend all day waiting for that little bit of a buzz when you get to stand by and you're off and you're on the follow, it is a bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
But you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth doing. I don't think. Yeah. And you're investing a lot of time and money into kit and constantly upgrading things and trying to stay ahead of everybody else and think of new ideas of ways to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think the passion comes in for it.
Yeah, I forgot about that buzz. Give me a buzz when I thought about the buzz. I forgot about it. I was thinking because like when I did because I didn't do any surveillance in the way you do it, like that rule stuff. Is sitting there, I'm just logging, recording, and just no peace. But yeah, I remember being on the course and doing the follows and that, and getting the buzz. It's good fun.
It is
good fun.
It is.
It's good fun. Yeah, and it's incredibly fucking hard. The hardest thing I found was when you'd be like on foot in front of the target, and they go in. You're in a town centre, for example, Durham, and they step into one of the shops, and then you've got to step into somewhere or step somewhere you can see them, keep eyes on them. So it's a busy town centre. You can see them, keep eyes on them, but not look like you've seen them, keep eyes on them, right? And it's funny. There's two things I recall about that. And when I first started doing the football, it was shops you don't want to step into. And the first one was there was two of us. It was me and someone else on it, and the target went somewhere. And it was just me actually. And when you started out, and the target went into the shop on the left hand side of the street, which was I think it was like an EE store or something. So I could see it all, but I didn't want to stand in the street just looking at them like this, right? And at the same time, I remember thinking, "Fucking hell! I wish I was still smoking," because you just, you can get away with it a certain number of times. Stop and have a fag. You can stand in the street with a fag, looking about, keep your eyes on, but I wasn't. So they walked in an EE on the left hand side, and I just sidestepped straight into the first door on my right. Oh my god! I was in like it was like a picture shop. And I was in a picture shop, only small, like 10 by 10 or whatever, and it's all picture shop. I'm the only person in there, and like earpiece in, and I'm trying not to look conspicuous, but I'm not. Like I'm standing in front of 3 pictures, which is because they're by the front door in the window, like the front door, because from there I can see the target in the east or opposite, and I'm out of the way, I'm hidden, but I'm the only person in there, and I'm probably the only person who's been in that shop for the last half an hour. So they come on to trying to talk to you. It's like, just have a look, thanks. I'm looking at the same 3 fucking pictures. It's it's not that it's not the awkwardness. It's the you don't want to look suspicious. Yeah.
And when you first start, you're paranoid that everybody knows. Everybody's looking at you. Yeah. It's not the case because no one cares. But when you first start, Simon, we obviously did his course and was doing Durham, and so then the weekend we were down on the King's Road in Chelsea. And he's like, it's a bit more busy. It's a bit different to Durham. But it was alright.
Durham's busy though. I remember going into it's a flipping market, indoor market. The indoor market in Durham.
I don't know.
Oh god, there's an indoor market in there. And it's like if you were going to go in and try and follow him there, it's the worst place you want to go. It's the worst. Follow anyone successfully, but also following Because to follow them successfully in there, you need to be on their shoulder. It's so busy, and it's so all the little aisles are so short. They just going to notice again. That was one of them. What was the other thing I did doing there? So yeah, went in the frame shop. And the other one was I went into it was like a JJB's or a trainer shop. And they had, it was a very similar scenario. The target was outside, sat on a bench in the middle of this fucking busy area. And I just sidestepped and just, yes, you don't know, you don't know what you're doing. Like, just being trained, like, I got it, being conspicuous, sidestepped at the shop, and look at the trainers. And I had this shop, and it wasn't empty in there. And it's like a JJB's, or it may not be, it's a sports shop. So they just generally leave you alone in those shops. I had this flipping guy come over, a shop assistant would not leave me alone. Can I help you, sir? No, I'm just looking, mate. You know, you're looking at the massive wall of trainers. Yeah, just looking, mate. Oh, okay, so and just starts talking about all sorts of stuff. In the end, he got super frustrated and said, I put my finger to my ear with the earpiece while I said, I'm working, mate, fuck off. Which is the worst thing to do. If Nick of PD is in like instant fail, fuck off, he's fucked off. Oh god, I'm failing myself on that one. I fail myself. Like,
hey, when I first started, I followed someone into the supermarket. I was like, right, I've got to look natural. I was like, I've got a basket. I was like, right, I start putting food in the basket. Broccoli, Tilda rice, spices. Just fill it up, and then I'm like, I didn't have a balls to just put it down and walk out when I had to go. So I was like, put it through a till. And ended up with a week's worth of shopping.
You bought it? Did you?
I didn't want to just walk out and put it down. I was like, they might say something.
It's the art of. It's when you. I don't know if everyone realises it. Nothing to do. It's when you. There's a certain benefit to be had when you realise that if you, regardless of what you're doing, if you look like you're meant to be doing it, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I shoplifted once. It was deliberate, and I wasn't young, and it wasn't long ago. And I got a mate that told me shopping, and he's Welsh Valley boy, and he's a cracker. And he has this thing. He's like, he's got loads of money. He doesn't need to do it. He has this thing. If he goes into a shop, he always has to get away with something, right? Because stick it to the man, get away with something. And he was saying, if you go, one of the things he do, if you go to like he was going to buy, what do you call it, wallpaper. I'm burping now. Excuse me. He was going to buy wallpaper, and he said, "You're in the middle of the wallpaper. You got like a hole. You got a tube in the middle. You can get stuff in there." And he said, like, "Mate, I got a screwdriver in there. I got." I said, I was going to say his name there. I said, "Did you need that stuff?" He goes, "No, but that's not the point. I could get it." So they scan the wallpaper. He gets out, gets home, he gets all the stuff in the middle, right? And he goes, "The other thing is," he said, "keep stuff in the trolley, right? So whatever you want, keep some of it in the trolley. You put the other stuff on the conveyor belt, and then he can do this. This guy on about he can do this. What I'm going to say next. He said, just keep talking to the assistant. So you cook his head. That's what he says. You cook his head, and he can do this, right? Because if I'm going to name him Jamie, like Jamie, he will he just talk you all day, and he'll cook your fucking head. He'll cook your head, and he said, just talk to him, cook his head, ask him about his day. So all he's thinking is scan, get rid of this guy. Like, if I cook your head, it just means a conversation, just asking questions. So what he's not thinking about is what's in your trolley that you're pushing through, right? And just keep going on, just talking, all normal. So I just in my head, and it wasn't that recently, right? And I was in. I'm not going to in the shop because again, knocking at my door. And I thought, I'm going to have a go at this. And it's like, cook his head. I'm going to try and cook his head, and I'll just look, just do. So I'm good at looking like things should are supposed to be getting done and getting away with stuff. And I thought, well, I'll try this. And I went through, and this thing I had anyway was a two-hand lift. I had it on the floor. It wouldn't fit in the trolley. I chose the biggest thing in it, not deliberately in the shop I was in. I had a bunch of stuff. I had like toiletries now on the top. And I was talking to the guy. And but I'm no good at cooking something dead. I can waffle on you. I can't do it in real life. I'm just talking. How you doing, mate? He's like, yeah. And he wasn't talking to him anyway. And there was a queue behind me. And so this thing I had on the floor, I was having to shuffle through my left foot. They could see it. They could see it. Everyone behind me could see it if they were that inclined to look down. Right? So I'm sliding on the floor, trying not to look like the shopkeeper. Like I'm sliding something through on the floor. I mean, the only reason I'm doing this is an exercise to see if I could do it. It's like I didn't want to nick it. I could afford it. So I'm sliding the thing on the floor, and the guy goes, such and such amount, please. So I get my wallet out, and I'm thinking, right, I've got to bend down to pick this up. So hopefully, I'm going to fire the money. I'm going to fire the card in, tap my pin in. He's going to then, as soon as I pay and get receipt, he's going to then just go, like they do on the checkout. So you just go next person that's scanning through, right? Yeah. He won't wait for me. He'll just, you get your bag the fuck up, don't you? So I put my card in, pin in. I'm starting to flat now. Because I'm realising this guy ain't normal. I put my pin in. I guess thanks a lot, mate. He goes, do you want a receipt? Yeah, receipt, please. Thanks a lot, mate. And he doesn't start looking at it. He sits there, right? And he's waiting for me to get my bag, get the carrier bag, and literally leave the vicinity of the thing, which isn't normal. That's not normal.
Be diligent.
Yeah. There was like a little pause, and then I thought, okay, alright, thanks, bud. And I bent down. I had the carrier bag over my elbow, I slid it down. It was on my toiletries. I bent down and I picked up the under sink cabinet, which was flat packed. It was massive. Under sink cabinet. Cheers, buddy. I put it under my arm and walked out in front of him. I walked out this thing. I didn't pay for it. Like, but because I didn't look guilty. Yeah. It's like one of those things.
Why did you say that?
I might walk out the door. I think any minute now that alarm's gonna go.
What made you choose the under sink cabinet?
I needed one. Everything else would have been easy, like toothpaste in the back pocket. What else? It's easy. Yeah, I got the under sink cabinet. So I came to the shop. Yeah, Jamie's fault that is. Flipping Jamie's fault. Yeah, I won't ever do that again. Yeah. But it's true, isn't it? You look like you're meant to do something. You won't look out of place.
Yeah,
and that's the art.
And you find you're sitting on plot for 10 hours and you get a curtain twitches. If
you're sitting on what? Sorry?
Sitting on plot on a job.
Yeah.
You've got a guy in the back of the van somewhere looking at a target house. You've got guys sitting in the surrounding streets ready for a pickup. You're not outside. You sat there, and you'll get your curtain twitches and. Yeah. Your kind of grannies walking past and having a look. And what are you doing here?
What's the longest you've been in the van for?
In the back of the van, 18 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What, awake the whole time?
That was the Astros. That was alright. I had a Ford Fiesta van, which when you're 6'3", is a bit of a squeeze in the back. that in the back of the Fiesta is probably 12 hours. But
what was it? What were you ambiguously answer this? What was the 18-hour task?
Just watching a door, seeing who was coming and going, waiting for somebody.
Was that early days on your own?
No, I was on my own at the time because we just needed to see who was coming and going.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I said yes. That was stank of piss.
Yes.
How'd you do number 2?
Snaps and baby wipes.
You could have a little hatch in the bottom. Just pull it, just curl it out straight onto the road.
I've only ever done it twice. It's got to be dire straits.
Oh my god!
If you're in there, that's a day written off. Yeah. It takes days to get rid of that smell. Yeah.
The guy you've just brought on, Simon. Mm-hmm. You said you identified to come before the course.
Yeah,
how did that come about?
He's ex Coldstream Guard. And he's a friend or associate, a business partner.
Oh, okay.
Was looking for a new career, so we knew enough about him to begin with to kind of take the leap of going from company employing subcontractors to actually having employees.
Are you open to dishing advice out to people or guidance or who want to get in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I say yes. You get a lot of emails saying, "I need a job. Can I have a job?" or you get people that are like, "I'm really interested in becoming a private investigator. How do I do it?" Like, well, investigate it, and it's a good start.
Yeah.
But when you're approaching the right way, definitely.
What's the right way?
Just having a bit about yourself. Not just have a job, mate.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's there are a very small amount of people in a very small proportion of people, I think, even from the ex-military side, that you could reach out to. If you reached out to 100 people, let's say you reached out to 100 people and said, "Mate, just got out. I'm looking for work. Have you got anything going?" Let's say it's really. Of that 100 people, probably 2 of those, if that, are in a position they can go actually assign a job.
Yeah.
Really, there and then. Not even 2 of them.
They usually start saying, "Oh mate, how's the family?" And then he's like, "Any jobs going?" Haven't spoken to a bloke in 10 years.
The chick is laying the foundation, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I started messaging people before I left. Before I got out 6 months before. Do you know what? I was going to say I don't know why I decided doing that, where I got the advice from it. All honesty, it was probably Nick. Probably Nick and BT. I started doing it. I started talking to people I hadn't spoken to or seen for 2 or 3 years. But it's because in 6 months' time I knew he was going to want a job. So 6 months before, it's like, "How's it going, bud? I haven't seen you in a while." And that opened because I wanted to engage in a conversation for the next 6 months and build up a rapport, and learn from them. And then I've got 6 months down the line, I've got an expanse of the network where I can go, "Oh, by the way, I'm now available to you if anything."
Yeah.
Let us know.
Absolutely.
But it's commitment on that. People, it's commitment to do that. It's not easy for everyone.
No.
It's difficult. In fact, difficult for most. I'd say difficult for most to understand that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's
just because it's not a natural thing to be able to understand or do a commercial. Well, one is that understanding of how, where, and who can, how and where you can get jobs and who can give jobs, and what you need to get a job, and not by what you need in qualification, but everything else.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, have a bit about yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be. Every job I've got so far has been after I left CP. Has been down to I've been underqualified for, underexperienced for. This is what they were asking. Underqualified, underexperienced. Did not have the qualifications they wanted. Didn't have the experience they wanted. But it was the first part was getting my foot in the door in terms of getting in front of an interviewee or getting comms, as in interpersonal, on the phone or in person, to one of the people involved in recruitment. That's the investigation side of things, which I've mentioned before. It's like send a CV off is fine to a job. 200 other fucking CVs. What makes you different? You be the person that's spoken to the recruiter on the phone, or the project manager the job's for, or this, that, and the other. And that's, again, if the company is CRG, control risks, controlriskgroup.com. Let's say it's that. I don't think it is that. All of you find a recruiter on there, or the way they name the email format is last name, then the first name, or the job titles. You're pretty easily going to find a person who's in recruitment or in a project, and then you get the phone. Go, all right.
I think you get a lot farther when you have a conversation. Right, rather than just an email with 2 lines and no subjects. And,
the
straight away just like,
likelihood is that you phone up. So So this is. So you can say what you're not doing. I'm just going to expand on something I said before. And I think you'll agree with it, given the conversation today. Is that you're not. I've sent my CV off to a company, and I managed to get the recruiter's details, or I get I say details. I get their email address. I get a phone number, or I ring the fucking company main office and go. I don't say hello. I'm looking at the recruiting office. I get the name of one of the recruiters and go, "Hi, I'm after John Smith, please." John Smith, which recruitment? Okay. Is it in relation to anything? Yeah. I got an email earlier. He's expecting a call. Right. But I get the phone. What John Smith is not going to do to me is say, this is what he is going to say to me. Yeah, we're going through the CVs, and we'll be in touch in due course, for example. But I've had a conversation with John, and I was very personable, and I spoke very clearly, and I sounded like a pleasant individual on the phone. Yeah. That's it. I've got ahead of the game on all the other CVs. All the other CVs are equal to mine in qualifications and experience. And all the jobs I've got is getting that foot in the door. I got in front of the interviewer, and then I was just confident, as we're talking about now. If you speak like, or you act like, you're comfortable in what you're doing and you're meant to be there, it fucking carries a hell of a way. And we as ex-military have it. We've got it. Yeah, we've got it. Absolutely. It's just people get nervous in front of civvies. They get not in front of civvies, right? In front, when they're looking for a job and they get a lot of pressure on them, and they forget. Hang on a minute, I'm a fucking animal. Yeah, I'm really good at what I do. I'm really good at. You give me, yeah, exactly. You give me a project, I will fucking nail it. You give me a task, I will nail it. That's what I do. I'll do it straight away. Yeah. It's almost those interviews. It's almost not thinking of it like it's an interview, but I think it's like a chat. Yeah, it takes the pressure off the chat, because even if you come out and you don't get the job, you've learned something from it. Yeah. So you got to set yourself apart. Yeah. It's easy to do if you know, if you view it that way. That personal touch every time makes a massive difference.
And the understanding that what you're necessarily thinking isn't what everyone else is thinking. Anyway, when I first started the business side of things and going to meet clients at certain companies, you're like, should I be sitting here? But you go in and you give a spiel and you act like you know what you're talking about, and you come across confident. And like, oh right, okay, yeah, great. And all of a sudden you've got a job, you've got a contract. And you're like, oh, that was alright.
Do they? Do you have when you go for contract? Is it quite often that they'll be speaking to you and 2 or 3 other companies?
Yeah.
And just
a lot of time.
But most of the time it come down to money?
No, not always. For me, I try and be as honest as I can about the requirements and the reality of the job. I won't. I'll give an honest opinion of what we can do and what's likely to be the outcome. And if there are budget issues, it's like, well, we can work to that, but there's this problem. And in the industry, whether you're employing people, subcontractor, or getting contracts, saying integrity is a massive part of things. Because as soon as that's gone, your name is dirt. Whether you're missing stuff out intentionally on a report, or having a compromise and not telling people, it goes a long way.
You're gonna start wrapping it up. All Scene Surveillance is your company,
yes?
Right? allscenesurveillance.com.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you on social media?
Not really for. Something I should
do you not do like a live stream?
Funny enough, I thought about it for a split second once. I was like, that's a good idea. No, it's not.
Checking in.
Yeah. No, it's the social medias are out there, but it's not something that we kind of concentrate on because I'm lazy with that side of things.
So allscenesurveillance.com.
Yes. Yeah.
And people, are you happy for people to get military guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, the plan is to expand over the coming years and employ more guys.
Well, mate, it's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks.
Glad the company's doing well. I think glad the company's doing really well. Like I said, Nick and BT speak highly of you. Great chat.
Thank you.
And anything I can do to help you in the future, let us know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Superb.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Dave.